So shopping for a girth is usually driven first by size, of course. You have to know what size you need, and it also depends on how short the billets of the saddle are. So just because the former rider chose a 50 girth for your horse doesn't mean that you will because the size of your saddle. But what type of girth you get can be driven by a couple things. One is it a show girth or is it an at-home girth for training? So if it's a show girth, it needs to be leather. It needs to look good, especially in the equitation of the hunter ring. Now at home, though, you can do synthetic. Now, a word about synthetics. My favorite synthetic is the Equifit Essential Girth, and the reason is the materials. So the Equifit Essential Girth is wide enough that it disperses the pressure. It's double elastic, which I like on all the girths that I do, no matter if they're leather or synthetic, because it's more comfortable and distributes the pressure of the tightening to both sides of the horse equally. The Equifit, though, has two liners, and everything from Equifit is neoprene free. Even though this looks like neoprene, it's actually impact technology, their proprietary technology. And having a horse that we found out the hard way is allergic to neoprene, I really go for this one. The other cool thing about this is you can actually get a sheep's wool liner too if you want that. Not sheepskin, sheep's wool, so it means it's washable, hosable, etc. But for some horses, which leads us to the next decision about materials, some horses are very sensitive, particularly when they get clipped, and they can get that rub here at the elbow, and their skin could be sensitive depending on the edges of the girth. So when I look at a leather girth, I'm always looking at the edge of it where it sits at the elbow of the horse. And there's a couple things that I like. An all leather girth with a nice big pad with a narrow elbow is very, very comfortable. The next one I really like is this one. This is a Pariani. This is from Italy. It's absolutely beautiful. And it has a removable neoprene liner as well that you can wash. You don't see on my wall any of the fuzzy girths because I always think they're growing a bacteria farm unless you keep them super, super clean. So I opt for synthetics that are soft, not just fluffy, to avoid that because you can really get skin rashes and things from it being moist in the winter or even sand in the summer. You can get up in there and it scratches their skin. The other thing about girths is what type. We're looking at just regular girths here. There's also an anatomic. This is again from Equifit. I really like their stuff. This is an anatomic hunter girth that goes into the show ring, but again, it takes the pressure off the horse and moves it behind the elbow a little bit more, freeing up his lungs, freeing up his motion. And then this is a belly guard, and you'll see these on a lot of the jumpers. This was actually designed for when they were wearing studs on grass, and they would come up and they would hit their chest. A lot of people, though, even just use this now because it's such a big piece of real estate on their chest, it does disperse more pressure.